When anybody comes at me, and if I have been unprofessional today, I apologize for it. But there's still about 5 or 10% of me that still is going to go there when you go there with me. And that's just part of a lot of us. And so I'm also working on that 5 or 10%. I don't think it's ever leaving. I don't think they're going to come up with a serum to get it out of me. But I try to watch it to make sure that it stays in the box. I don't want to open the box. I put the bunny back in the box, and I want to leave the bunny in the box. All right.
Yeah, I bet that 1,000. You just gonna have to cover me. I bet the 1,000.
Hey man, listen. All
right.
Calvin might be right. I got. Let's put the wager on it.
So listen. I like DJ Genesis and I like Sean G. So I'll put up 1,000.
Okay.
All right, man. Let's go,
I got a side note.
All right.
DJ. So one of you guys will get the 1,000. DJ, Sean G. Though, put it in the chat. You said 3. What was it? What was it? What did he say? I'm sorry.
He said bet 1,000.
You think he's gonna get anywhere from 3 to 4 months? I think he said
he said 3 years. He said 3 years. Okay,
that's what I'm
thinking.
I do agree with Sean G on that. I kind of
saying time served. He think he's gonna get time served.
I think he's gonna get time served for the time he's been in there and whatever time is left. Now I believe Brother Calvin said it almost could take. While I don't know when sentencing, when it comes to federals, you know what I'm saying? I'm more of a family court person, but it could almost take to a year. Although somebody stated that that the sentencing hearing was supposed to be in October, which is,
it's not going to be that long, man. They do a process where they interview you, right, and then they come back up, they interview you, they go through everything, they prepare a couple of recommendations. And so that's kind of what happens. And so they give, what happens is they come back with a number, right? The probation officer is going to come back and we think it's going to be a level this. The state and the defense get an opportunity to file what we call rebuttals, right? And that's where if the number comes up too high, if the point system comes up too high, the defense will say, no, that's too many points, that's too high. We think it should be lower, and they make arguments about that. And so that's why the sentencing probably will happen in October, but there'll be a couple of things that happen in between now and then. Okay. And about a month, he'll probably get interviewed by the probation department. And then within 2 to 3 weeks after that, they'll come up with a sentencing recommendation. That'll be kind of a couple of months. And then it'll give the state typically about, a few weeks to respond, and they'll file a recommendation, and the defense will file a recommendation. And that's why the sentencing is going to happen in October, which is about 120 days out. Right. And so
I think that they moved it up. Didn't they say they were trying to rush it or move it to be sooner? Or maybe I heard that from the wrong channel.
So they're going to have a conference on Tuesday at 2:00. It's going to be remote, and then they're going to determine the actual sentencing date because Mark Agnifilo had asked for it to be sooner.
Yeah, you want it to be sooner because you want to have an opportunity to get your guy out. Now the judge can come in and say, hey, I'm not going to give him that much time. I'm going to give him this amount of time. I'm just concerned about that happening with what you shared with me, Mel, and I took my kind of cue off of you when he looked like he was going to let him home. And then he comes back and his attitude has changed. That would concern me about how he's feeling about Mr. Combs. And how he's going to feel about that. And so that's what my concern was, And so when a judge starts acting like that, then I have some concerns. And then when he doesn't let him go home, when Puffy can really basically put his own self on house arrest, he can wear a leg monitor. He can put up a whole bunch of money and property that says he won't run, and it'll give him a reason not to run or do anything wrong, and they still won't let him come home. It tells me a lot.
Here's another question. I think that another thing happened too is that the lawyer for Cassie and the dance and the makeup artist or some other person,
the stylist, Deontay Nash is a stylist. If that's who you're talking about.
Didn't they both wrote a letter? Like Deontay wrote a long letter and the lawyer wrote a letter asking he not be released. Do you think the judge took that into any consideration? And why is that even possible for a outside lawyer to be able to butt into this, and to get involved with the case like this?
And what I'm trying to figure out, y'all, he probably has some connection to some of the victims, if I'm correct, in saying that he would have to kind of have some kind of connection to one of the victims. And remember why I said one of the criteria is that, are you a flight risk?
Right.
Will you come back to court? Or are you a threat or to yourself?
Or to others, society,
or the community.
Right.
And so when you're a victim allegedly of some of the behavior that happened of Mr. Combs, and you're saying, I fear for my life, Judge, don't let him out. I think something might happen to me. Then what the judge is going to do, and I'm going to tell you what judges do, because if I was a judge, I would do this too as well. I'm going to be like, well, wait a minute. I can let Mr. Combs come home. I can let him go home. But let's say I let him go home. Something happens to the victim, even though it may not be Puffy, right? Maybe it could be something weird, something different happens. How is everybody going to look at me as a judge?
Right. He has to take it under judicial discretion.
Exactly. They're going to call for my head.
Y'all.
They're going to call for my head. So in that situation, I'm not going to let him go home, because I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to take the precaution of just leaving him in there, and then I'll go from there. You know?
Right. And didn't the judge say that that his attorneys did not provide any evidence that on the contrary, because they were the ones who actually argued that he has substance abuse and domestic violence issues. So that is taken under discretion, because that's evidence provided by his own attorneys, right? So that's substantiated. The judge has to consider that, as well as the probability of what everyone else is saying. And there was no other substantive evidence or merits provided to the contrary by his attorneys.
Let me interject here, okay? So Mark Agnifilo used various cases to show, because he went out and looked, right? There were some cases where traffickers made $1 million for trafficking somebody across the state. But Mark Agnifilo said, in this case, Diddy is basically a customer of the prostitution. And if you go to your local town, right, and you get a guy that's frequenting 2 prostitutes, he's not going to be held in court this way. And so that was his argument. Basically, you're not letting the guy go, and he's been found not guilty on 3 counts. 60% is gone now. So that's the argument that was made. So go ahead, rock out.
And see, that those are the kind of things that we talk about. But remember, the average guy that gets picked up for dating a couple of prostitutes ain't Puffy Combs. Puffy Combs has a lot of money, influence, power, and reach. He can touch you without touching you. And basically, what people don't understand is, even though he didn't get convicted of certain things, the judge goes back in the chambers and he's like, somebody's car got set on fire.
Version within the mind.
Remember how I say you drop nuggets in people's heads,
right,
that you might not use for the case, but you drop a nugget and you can't undrop the nugget?
As long as you don't spit it out your mouth out loud.
Exactly. And see, what happened is the state put a lot of nuggets out there about Mr. Combs and his behavior. And then the nugget that the defense put out there, and they had to put that nugget out there. I don't think it was a mistake for the defense to say, hey, he has been, he's committed some domestic violence. Because what you want to do is you want to get the fact out of the way that he has done something that he shouldn't have done, so that we don't spend a lot of time talking about that. In addition to that, you put the behavior out there so that you don't have to let them put it out there like you're hiding it from the jury. But when he put it out there, the judge came right back and used it. So I want y'all to think about that, right? The judge used the fact that he had committed potential domestic violence against Cassie to hold him into custody. So you mean to tell me I'm going to tell my clients, you know what? Don't worry about the Cassie stuff, man. We good. He ain't gonna think about that. We're not gonna, man, you got to be out your goddamn mind.
That would be ineffective assistance of counsel if you did that. That would be ineffective assistance of counsel if you were to do that.
Bingo.
So, and for me, I feel like, hey, everybody in the chat, everybody on the stage, welcome. Hey, Calvin. I think, hey, Mel.
Hey, Queen, what's up?
How you doing, Mel?
Hey, Queen.
Queen, I was trying to put my vote in the bucket last night for that show. Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Thanks, yes.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
We had like a love connection going on.
Listen, please act like you didn't see that and let's start over again.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyway, Calvin, back to you. Listen, I'm looking at Calvin's background. I'm looking at the collar on that shirt, and I'm saying, yep, Calvin know what I'm about to say. Hey, Calvin, we still see? They can say what they want to say. They can feel how they want to feel. They can do whatever they want to do. But at the end of the day, Calvin, I'm going to put my $1,000 with you. They say he going to walk free. I'm putting my $1,000 with you. I don't give a damn what your mammy name is. Even the people out there on food stamps, y'all better follow.
They don't even make those no more.
I bet y'all the government grilled cheese sandwiches.
The goal will go up now. We put our money right here. I bet we'll bring these back. We'll be able to track cash in. We'll see what our money and then bring back the paper. Listen, I got a bet on you. I just want to know that a little bit.
But and listen, y'all. Let's be real, y'all. And I'm gonna tell y'all this so that y'all know. Man, I hate to see anybody go to jail. I mean, for me to be able to do what I do, even people that have done wrong, I believe in second chances for everybody.
Right.
I balance out stuff with people. I don't want to see. I hate all of this happen to the victims in this case, and I hate it that Mr. Combs is the one who did it because, man, I look up to Sean. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of us, man, we grew up to Sean Combs, man. I mean, we got a lot of our swag and a lot of our wanting to be entrepreneurs and wanted to do things on our own. We got a lot of that from Mr. Combs. Let's be real. A lot of us did, right? And so I don't want to see this be his narrative for the rest of his life. I hope that he makes amends with God. I hope he makes amends with the people he's done wrong to. And I hope he uses his resources to do very, very positive things. But when it comes to this case, I'm a smart enough individual to realize what optics are, right? Optics and then real stuff that happens in these cases.
Yep.
The prosecution was smart to drop all of these nuggets about domestic violence, about cars getting set on fire, about people sitting in people's houses. Even though he didn't get convicted of those things, let's be honest, a judge is still going to be in the back of his head thinking about, well, wait a minute. I can't just slap him on the hand. What message am I going to send to the victims of alleged trafficking or the domestic violence if I just slap them on the hand or let them go home?
And
I'm just being real.
And also the magnitude of this case to the community. What message is he sending to the community as well? He has to consider that. Yeah, you know, because of the high profile nature of the case.
Yeah, and then can I say one more thing, y'all? And I gotta go here.
Go ahead.
I gotta say this. One of the things that I'm careful about, and this is why I don't like people to get locked up, because a lot of people go through a lot of trauma, right? And when I say you go through a lot of trauma when you get locked up, it changes you. Yeah, I've seen it change men. And when you go to jail and you come out, there's a lot of people that do federal time that come out and think all lawyers are the same. All lawyers are dirty. Everybody's after them. They'll come out thinking they know more than the lawyers because maybe a lawyer screwed them when they went in. And I try to tell people that's one of the reasons why, as a people, we got to be careful to not put ourselves in situations where we get locked up. Because jail is real. I got a partner in there right now, and then I'll tell you what kind of person because a lot of y'all don't know me. Y'all been knowing me from the podcast. I got a guy from my community right now. He's in there locked up. Man, he got his eye taken out while he was in there.
Oh my goodness!
And so right now, I'm in the process of trying to get him home early because he's kind of at a disadvantage. He got one eye in there, and I've known this young man most of my life. He's actually one of the relatives or one of the younger relatives, one of the closer friends of mine, but he's in there right now with one eye trying to defend himself and somebody tried to do something to him. And so and I'm doing this just out of the kindness of my heart. I'm not even getting paid for it, but I know I know the young man, I know his family, so I took it upon myself to work on trying to get him home on some kind of hardship. And so when I tell people, like I come from those communities, 2 of the 3 roughest communities in Dallas is where I grew up at. Crack came into my neighborhood. The first gang set, Crip set, was in my neighborhood in Dallas. Man, I saw, before I became 15 years old, I saw 3 people get killed. I saw one guy get stumped out. I saw a guy get shot to death. I saw a man get stomped to death. I saw a man get stomped to death and nobody even told on the person who did the stomping. So I come from a really rough background, and that's why I'm so good at doing what I do. And that's why I fight for people the way I fight for them, because I saw the other side of it. I can only be a defense attorney. I could never be a prosecutor. I just can't do it. And so I'm sharing this with y'all to tell y'all, when you hire Calvin Johnson, I really fight like if I'm going to jail, because if somebody goes to jail, I can't think of nothing else for the whole weekend, because I'm like, man, it's just how I am. I carry it home with me. And if I can't do it that way, I'm gonna stop doing it. That's just how I am. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I'm letting y'all know who I am, because a lot of us, we just met here. Genesis knows me, and of course, Mel started to get to know me, and everybody else is getting to know me. But man, I do this for real. I don't play no games.
Yeah,
Okay.
I couldn't even really afford him. I really couldn't even afford him, but he still looked out for me and still did my case, even though I didn't even have enough money to pay him on time and everything.
I'm gonna give y'all one last little nugget about that particular issue. One of the people that's kind of responsible for me not getting in the drug game, hustling and all that, was a guy from the community that was really smart. Unfortunately, his family's house burnt down. The Jamaicans came out of the neighborhood and started paying him a lot of money a month to do what he was doing. He saw me walking home and his son, frustrated, no money. He told me to get in the car one day and pull me to the side. He said, I know what you're thinking about. Whatever you do, don't do what I'm doing, because eventually they're going to catch me too. And he set me down and explained to me why I shouldn't be doing or even thinking about doing what he was doing. And the truth of the matter is, later on in life, he was right. They ended up catching him. He went to jail once. He went to jail twice. He went to jail the 3rd time, got out. The last time he got in trouble, you know who represented him? I did. And instead of getting 25 years, he got 9. And he was okay with that.
That's right.
And then when he came up for parole, you know who got him home? I did. So that's my background. So when somebody challenges that, I got a problem with them, because they don't know.
And you know what? Oh.
So let's dispel a rumor or two. Let's say, can the government go after him again for other charges?
They could try to, but what's going to happen is the lawyers are going to try to say double jeopardy. They're going to argue that it's biased. They're going to argue double jeopardy. And in this situation, I don't think that they would do that, because they've already lost once. And I think that it gets to a point where a jury would know that they've lost once. And they're not going to want to go at him again. And so chances of them going at him again are slim to none, because it gets to a point where you're overreaching, you're overstepping. Whatever information you have now, you had then. So you didn't charge him then, don't try to come back and charge him now.
A lot of people want to know what could be done if they want to support Diddy or someone in this type of circumstance. Do you recommend protesting, rallying, writing letters, or just being quiet?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, and you got to be careful, because one thing I will tell you, there is some behavior in the Diddy trial that concerns me. The situation with Cassie really concerns me, because as a man, you know, I'm an old school man. I was raised with my grandparents. I raised with my grandfather. Old school man. We don't touch women. We don't beat women. We don't put our hand on women. And so I'm gonna be honest with you right now. Y'all probably need to be quiet, because if you protest, it's gonna look like you're disrespecting our queens, and then people are gonna be like, "Wait a minute." I think what you should try to do is be quiet, and then I think Puffy should strike a tone of reconciliation.
Exactly.
And if I'm Puffy's lawyer, I'm gonna tell him, "Hey man, you get an opportunity to speak. Just be honest. Hey, Your Honor, I understand what I've been convicted of. I accept full responsibility of that. I would like to apologize to Cassie and her family, or anybody who's allegedly done anything that they didn't want to do based on my actions or behaviors or suggestions. But that's not the kind of person I am. I lost it on that particular day. But Judge, I going through this whole process, having my kids looking at me and looking at my family, and the fact that I may not be able to provide for them, and the fact that I hurt a lot of people that looked up to me. I want to make amends, and I'm gonna use whatever life I have left in this world to do some things with the money that I've made and the position that I've been put in. That would be my speech for Puffy to tell the judge if they ask me. And that's just keeping it 100. And that's just being honest, y'all. A lot of us don't want to forgive. A lot of us don't want to forgive each other. And when it comes to a lot of black men that do stuff to black women, we don't want to forgive them. We want to just throw them in the trash. But they still in the community, and they still can be used.
Yeah. But if you don't,
go ahead, Queen. I want you to say what you got to say, because that'll be some good. We need a one touch on this one.
Yeah, because I feel like when you do apologize, especially when you done it and it affects so many, and what people not understanding is just that one video alone can actually tarnish a lot within a woman's mind that have been through trauma like that, which we call that abuse. So instead of him just coming to apologize just because he's trying to make amends with me, that's not going to help. But apologize from inside, he started doing things too. So apology is really bad shading.
We can't hear you.
I can't hear you. Your voice is
you have to go out and come back in. I think your internet connection is a little bit down.
Listen a little bit.
Okay,
go back and come back in.
I absolutely agree with what she's saying, because and I also think that it would also be a positive outcome for him to be an example of change, because you know what I'm saying, everybody's had some hard knocks in life and have made some mistakes. So him taking accountability for his actions, him actually going through whatever programs for his substance and and anger management, and then coming back and showing a different side, I think would be a very positive outcome out of all of this situation. I think that he actually owes it to his fans and his community to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here's a question that I have for you. Since I've been at the trial, I saw attorneys like Tyrone Blackburn. I saw Cassie's attorney come. I saw a lot of attorneys attend the trial that are actually suing Diddy. Some even have multiple clients. So if he comes on record apologizing, doesn't it affect him civilly in a negative way?
Oh, he's going to get civilly charged. Go ahead, Calvin.
Yeah,
sorry.
He's going to get civilly sued anyway. I think that a couple of things you got to take into account. Number one, I think he has to do it, number one, to make sure he gets a lower sentence, because the way I say this is time is the one thing you can't buy back, right? So you can buy, if you got money, you can buy everything in the world, but you can't buy time back. I tell my clients that time is the one thing you can't buy back. As far as the civil lawsuits are concerned, you got to remember, everybody, a lot of these people that are suing him, a lot of them agreed to participate in certain behavior, let's be honest. And for a lot of them, he took care of them along the long lines while they were doing A, B, and C. And a lot of them, they chose to partake in this behavior. I heard that some exotic dancer is suing Cassie because Cassie gave him some kind of disease or whatnot, and this and that. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people in the general public are going to be looking at these people as money chasers or money grabbers. And Puffy has some of the best attorneys in the world. He's going to make sure that those lawsuits are defended and that they're fought to the fullest. And as an attorney, when you take one of those lawsuits, you better be ready to spend some money too, because to get Puffy to come off his money, you're going to spend a lot of money to make sure you get any kind of judgment out of Puffy, because Puffy's going to fight this. He's going to fight these issues. He's not just going to take it laying down, and he shouldn't.
I have a question about that guy, about that case, the particular one that's against Cassie with the dancer.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was actually, I guess his name was a part of the trial. I'm not sure if Mel, that's true. That's what he said on Tasha K, that his name is throughout the entire trial. Mm-hmm. And the information that he came forward with was so damning. I'm like, well, why wouldn't they bring him into the trial? It seemed like there was a few of those escorts that had a really, really elaborate stories that were not brought up in the trial.
And see, the problem with those people are, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, is that they are probably gonna prove Cassie was part of initiating a lot of the sexual encounters, because they can't just come in there and testify to the negative. And they have to provide, the state has to provide Puffy's attorneys with all the text messages. So let's say Shake Something come in there. We're going to give him a name. We're going to say Shake Something. That's what we're going to call him. So I bring Shake Something in there, and Shake Something, he got some bad information on Puffy, but I see a bunch of text messages where
Shake Something,
Cassie is telling Shake Something, hey, I want to see you. Me and Puffy want to see you next week. As a matter of fact, I want to see you on the side. And we ain't gonna even tell Puffy about it. I'm gonna take care of you. They have to provide all of that kind of stuff. So those potential other witnesses probably had a lot of problems,
right,
in terms of some of the stuff they agreed to and some of the behavior that they participated in.
Right. Can I add on to that? Because
yeah,
a lot of times the prosecutors, if they see that somebody that they're gonna bring on may also be contrary to their position, they won't call them, and the state won't, the defense won't call them, because if they call them, then when they go to question them, they have to do a direct examination as opposed to a cross. And in cross examination, you get to ask leading questions. Mm-hmm. And so I saw that recently with one of these trials. It was the Karen Reed trial, where the state did not call the main police officer dude because they knew he would be damaging to their case, and then the defense didn't call him because they couldn't cross. So it's like chess, you know what I'm saying? It was like, you know what, if I can't cross-examine him, then, you know what I'm saying, then the state can just come and ask 5 questions and then say, you know what, we're done, and we'll never get to the information that we want. We'll never be able to open those windows. So you got to be careful with that. Yeah,
you got to be careful, man. You can open up a can, right?
Right.
Another thing that happened is the jury. So now the jury members are starting to come out and do shows and start to talk about how they really saw this whole thing, right? One thing that the juror member said was that off rip, they were all looking at the case like they were trying to railroad P. Diddy. Then they said that they didn't really believe Don.
The juror says that?
Yeah, on CNN. They said that they off rip, they were already like looking at the case, listening.
It was a brother too. I was upset with him. Like, come on, man, you're supposed to be unbiased. You're gonna look at her and say, "Oh, I know she was," you know what I'm saying, or this one was not guilty. Like,
once again, Mel, what I tell you, we had this conversation, Mel. I remember before they did the verdict and before they did the deliberations, I said there are some people,
and it was white guys. It was the white guys that I'm
exactly. People are worried of the government. They're like, I don't know about the government. Sometimes they do too much. We have to lean more of that out.
So Calvin,
yeah.
Calvin, in a situation like that, even though that wasn't initially what I was gonna say, I said these people done got long-winded more than me. But listen, I wanted to say, what would that be called? Because as a juror, if you, in a sense, already got a decision in your head and now you're saying it out loud, that wouldn't lead back to anything?
No, it wouldn't, because his impression of that particular witness is just negative. And see, sometimes it's a body language thing. Sometimes it's the way they say things. And sometimes it's your own personal background in terms of when you deal with people, you may see something in that person that nobody else sees. And you go like, I don't trust them. And so you are allowed to feel a particular way about a person based on what you see in them and how they move, how they talk, and how you look at them. There are some people that will look at you and be like, I'm skeptical of you already because of who you are and what you're being asked. And so I'm just letting you know that's how some people feel.
Right.
Okay, can I I'm sorry, one quick second. Hey guys, can you guys please hit the like button, share, subscribe if you like the material. Also, check out Udo on the Go. Udo's been out there at the courthouse every day really covering this case. So check him out. Uda, I'll let you chime in whenever you get ready. Go ahead, Queen.
I was gonna say, but DJ, didn't you say that? Who did you say was that the jury was saying trying to railroad him? Huh?
We lost you. We lost you, DJ.
Lost the vocal.
All right.
Yeah, she's gone.
Uda, hop in if you want to now while she gets together. Okay, he may not be there. So Queen, pop in.
Oh, Uda.
Go ahead, Queen.
Well, you know what I did want to say though? I wanted to say, Calvin, I definitely understand where you're coming from because I'm more of a defense type person as well. I mean, working with the state, I try to go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Sorry, go ahead.
I try to go every angle I can, and that's what make you the bad guy. It would make you the bad guy when you can look at a person and you can say, wait a minute, but you do know there's another side to this story because you just see the story from right here. But when you have to show people that you could defend them, but they're also wrong, that's what people don't understand, that you have to be able to do that. So no matter what anybody say about P. Diddy being guilty, P. Diddy being innocent, at the end of the day, even as an attorney, you already know at some point, given up point is, I promise you, I'm not going to be able to help you right here. And that's when you have to have a connection with they have to already know that. You can't prove what's already guilt.
And this is what I'll tell y'all. And the difference between me and a non-attorney, and I tell people this all the time. What I try to tell people is, look, I literally have people's lives in my hands.
Right.
Every day I wake up and every day I go to sleep. It's a heavy burden that comes with that. So this is not a game to me. It's not, I do this for the money. It's not that. Like my clients, a lot of my clients know me through somebody else.
Yes.
A lot of my clients I grew up with, their fathers, their mothers, their kids. I was able to get one young man who's been in the game for the last 15 years, finally got him a regular job. I was able to convince the state to give him probation again because he got a union job and he's working on a union job, and I helped him get there. So right. I try to tell people, man, doing this is one thing. I've been to the pen board, I've been to the feds before. I'm cool with all that kind of talk, but man, I do this every day on repeat, and it's not easy. So I try to be as best as I can at doing it, and I have to be real with my clients. I want to tell them the truth.
Correct. And I feel like, I don't know, she made me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on. There's like a sound going on, like a robot sound that's happening.
It's Queen. Your audio is messed up again. I'm sorry.
It's like a robot. Yeah,
I wanted to say this. Yeah, she's glitching a little bit. Sorry, Queen. I want to say this real quick because I see a couple of people who are in the chat who keep bringing up the fact that he wasn't being charged with domestic violence. However, domestic violence was argued by his own attorney. So that's almost as an admission of the guilt, besides the fact that there was actual video evidence and footage that was considered in his bond hearing as opposed to the sentencing. I don't think they can hold that against him. I don't know. Calvin could probably, give me a little bit further clarity on that. I know that they probably can't hold him for that, but they can. The judge can take it under judicial discretion when it comes to his release. So it's evidence that's been submitted to the court of records.
And what happens to a lot of us, and I will tell y'all this, when you go to a situation where you've been in court before and you get convicted of something, like you get convicted of something federally, I would imagine that even though the other young man that was on the phone with us earlier, there may have been some things in his case that he didn't feel like the state was able to use against him, but they're able to use them. And for a lot of people, they feel like it's not fair. It's like, well, I'm here for A, but why do they keep talking about C, D, and E? And as an attorney, I have to tell my clients, hey, even though you're here for A, they're going to use C, D, and E. And it's my job to get you ready for that. So we don't spend a lot of time, because as your attorney, I'm paying attention to what they're doing, and you over here melting down because they use C, D, and E because you didn't think they should
Right.
be able to use it. But I had already told you that. Let's get past that and let's be ready to deal with that when it happens. And so that I try to have my clients ready so we don't waste time sitting there arguing with each other while that's happening. Don't argue with me about it. I told you that they can use it. They're using it. Now let's deal with it. And I have to be very strong, aggressive, and direct with my clients and say, hey, man, let's get past that, doc. Let's deal with it.
Yeah. And you got to be very tedious too.
Yes.
You got to be tedious. Somebody told me that the other day in my chat, oh, you're just being tedious. I was talking about the Carmelo Anthony, and you're just being very tedious. I said, what you think defense supposed to do? If you wasn't tedious on the case I got, and I'm not a damn attorney, I just got mental thoughts from the rural. I'm a Capricorn. At the end of the day, I think about you. I go around in a circle on your ass, and you better be able to bring it because I'm going to catch you in every hole. You got to be as tedious as you're supposed to be. I'm talking about tedious.
Yes.
You got to skin them just like that. You got to be. That's when you know you're dealing with a passionate person that got your back, and just give it to them. Just be honest. For me, just be honest. Tell me that you figure it out.
You want the bleeding heart attorney because they care.
Thank you.
You know, you don't want the attorney who's 30, 40 years in and they got relationships with all of the judges and the prosecutors, and your case is just a cupcake on their desk. Okay, you don't want that.
I have a question. I have a question. Like, if he doesn't get to do bail right now, he doesn't get to do bail right now, will he get to ask for bail like after a month from now, or like later on, or is it just like, no, that's it, you can't get no bail? Can he come back and ask for it? Like,
he can come back and ask for it for a reconsideration, but it's not going to happen. If he don't give it to you the first time, they're not giving it to you again. And it's funny that y'all said something. I gotta go here with y'all. I was in court and one of my clients was getting mistreated out in another county, and they almost held me in contempt because I was going so hard for him. And it's because I'm like, man, it's not fair, it's not right. But I did understand what he did. He put himself in a bad situation. I just didn't think it was a fair situation. And so y'all making me laugh when y'all say, look, you got to have an attorney that goes with his heart, man. I was going with my heart in there that day.
You went Roman J. Israel up in there?
Oh, man, I did. I almost got myself jammed up out there. I almost had to call somebody because I was that upset because my client was in there. And I was like, nah, man, it's not right. I'm not going to let, no, they're not going to do him like that. They're not going to do him this way today out here. And it's in another county that's a little bit more Republican, that's a little farther up. But I was like, nah, y'all not going to do him today.
That's how I feel. When I get passionate about what I'm talking about, and when I go speaking, I don't know what comes. I'm like, man, y'all better take these looks from in front of y'all because y'all going to get mad with me in a minute. And then I'll bring back to see once I open you up and let you know who I am. Because listen, I get real. You still can't hear me?
Queen, I'm going to tell you what you might need to do. They have these signal repeaters that you can get it. I always use them. Like, if I keep having an issue like that, I have one of these in my house, these little signal repeaters, and it'll keep the cutouts from happening.
Okay, because we can't hear you.
Yes.
I just want to say briefly, quite a few people in the audience are talking about the floods. So what we're going to do is tonight, and if you want to do it along with me, DJ Genesis, you guys, any of you guys, we're going to deal with the floods. I'm unaware about the floods. Can I get a little bit about it? I'll learn about it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, a little bit about
tonight at 10 o'clock though. 10 o'clock.
Yeah, tonight at 10 o'clock we're gonna do it. But with some summer campers out here, middle central of Texas, they have these camps every year that these kids go to, and it was a flash flood, which means in a very short period of time there was a lot of rain. So there's not a lot of time to be able to get people out. When the rain comes in, sometimes in Texas, rain can happen where rain's extremely heavy for an hour or hour and a half straight, real heavy, and you don't have time to get people together and move them. And they were already out at camp. And they're in Texas, there are a lot of rivers, a lot of waters, a lot of wooded areas, a lot of cloggish things that can happen. So that's kind of what happened in Texas. And so a lot of people got hurt because of that. But we'll talk about that later.
And where is that at? Is that near you guys, or where?
No, it's like in Kerrville. It's more central Texas. More, let's say about an hour outside of Austin, outside of the state capital, about 90 minutes away from the state capital, but kind of central Texas. We're North Texas. We're closer to Oklahoma. We'll say from Dallas To get to Oklahoma, you're about another 2-hour drive. Texas is huge, so y'all got to understand. Texas is big. So you can drive for 12 hours and still be in Texas, depending on where you're going to. But like from where we live at to Oklahoma is about a 2-hour drive, two and a half hour drive. But where they are, they're Central Texas, so they're probably about 3.5, 4 hours away from here. So you go from North Texas to the middle of Texas, so it's gonna be about 4 hours from here is where the flooding has happened.
Okay, shout out to Eric. Shout out to my homeboy Eric, West Texas. All right, so tonight we'll have a lot of video. Let's do a lot of footage, guys. DJ Genesis, I'll put together video too. 10 o'clock.
Brother Mel, have you covered anything about the Carmelo Anthony situation?
And I got some information about that we got to talk about.
No, at this point, the show. I'm sorry, guys. At this point, the show officially that we started is over. So you guys can have at it, whatever you want to talk about. Let's rock.
I just want to say this, with the Carmelo Anthony thing, right?
Do it.
So recently we're watching right now on Court TV. I'm a court watcher all day while I do my little paralegal stuff. 8 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? I'm on Court TV all the way till 7 o'clock while I'm doing my little paralegal work. And there's a trial right now with this teenage it's called the Preppy party murder trial, where this young man stabbed a teenager, one of his peers, at a party, stabbed him in the chest, you know what I'm saying, cut a couple of people with a knife, and he's arguing self-defense. There was previously another trial where this young man was in his own garage, and his neighbors, one of his neighbors was a CO, was a correctional officer. And he was an adult, and the adult came on his property, and basically his sons were there, and they attacked him, and the young man stabbed him, and the correctional officer died. And because there was multiple people surrounding him, even though they didn't have weapons, and he had a knife on his own property, he got off for self-defense. You know what I'm saying?
What story are you talking about? I
gotta find the name.
Yeah, you switched up on us real quick. I'm like,
I'm gonna tell you. No, I think I know what he's doing.
I'm putting together.
What I'm saying is because Carmelo was, from what I've heard, and I'm not substantiating this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the evidence yet until it's actually on trial. But because he was being threatened by the two young men, you know what I'm saying, the two athletes from college, and they approached him, and he's in Texas, right, which is a stand your ground state. He stabbed one of them. Now, from my position, without all of the evidence, I would say watching some of these other trials, like where young man got a couple of times, caught basically got released off, for defense, right? Yeah. So with this trial, if he was being approached, that I think the most he would probably get, and this is just my presumption, is that he would get self-defense, because he was, even if they didn't have weapons, they approached him and they were being threatening and demonstrative towards him. They made threats and they were bullying him before. The most would be carrying the weapon on school grounds.
Can I give y'all some information?
Yeah, so please give me some knowledge on this.
This is the first thing that I'm going to do. The judge that gave him bail, I know that particular judge. She's one of the Black female Republican judges we have here in Collin County.
Okay.
The new judge is going to be a judge named John Roach Jr. He is one of my mentors. When I very first started practicing law, I would go out to Collin County and do cases in Dallas County. Because remember, I started just doing cases just off the rip. He actually went to my law. He was a alum of my law school. I worked for him for a week in the summertime. And I go see him once a year just to tell him how I'm doing. See when he showed me the ropes, introduced me to everybody. He's a very no-nonsense judge. And when I had mentors, I had several mentors. I had Black mentors, white mentors, people that are Democrat, Republicans, whatever they were. I wanted to know as a lawyer how you saw law, how you practice law, what you did and did not do. I didn't care what you were. I wanted to learn, right? So that's what I was able to do. So I know the judge out there very well. He's very no nonsense. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all a couple of things. The issue of them bullying him before the incident happened, that has not been proven that they had any contact, any relationship of that happening before the incident happened, which means the video that you can actually go see the video, but you can't make a copy of it. What they're saying the video shows is there's not much of an altercation before the stabbing happens, outside of maybe the person telling him he needs to leave the tent. But my concern for Carmelo is one thing, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, and me being devil advocate, I'm not advocating for the white kid. I'm just being honest with y'all. In high school, I don't know about how y'all do it, but if I don't go sit in the middle of a rival's tent, that ain't gonna happen. Like where I grew up, if I went to Lincoln, I'm not going to sit in Madison's tent.
Right.
If I go sit in Madison's tent, I want smoke.
But wait,
I'm sending smoke signals.
But wait, Calvin, I'm sorry. I got me and you got on the same colors. You got on yellow. I got on pink. We got to do it, but we the same color right here. Listen, I got to go. This one I got to run. Calvin, think about it. How many football games have you been to? How many tents have you been up under? How many stands have you sit on? When it start raining, I don't give a damn how many tents around. What do?
You go to the tent that's free, whatever you do.
That's what he did. He slid up under the tent. The altercation started because of the rain. It started because when he slid up under that tent, it was only because of the rain. It started with the rain. It wasn't in the tent. If it wasn't raining, would he have been under that tent? We got to go to the beginning.
And I hope that's the reason he's gonna say he was there.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm gonna tell you the problem that we have, right? And I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Come on.
His spokesperson,
They need to get me.
he's hurting. He's hurting him.
He is hurting them big time.
Yes.
And
can I break something down to y'all? I'm gonna be
you
real
better
with
talk
y'all.
to me because I ride with this case.
And I'm telling y'all, I'm from Texas. I want y'all to understand one thing.
I would like to get connected on this case, Calvin.
And I'm being real with you. If you think that they're gonna allow a black kid to go stab a white kid out in that county where he at, oh my God, we got a problem.
But wait a minute, Calvin. Wait a minute, Calvin.
I'm just being real.
Wait.
I'm being real.
Wait, if his case, if he got the right defense to pay attention, because I just told you, they say I'm very nitpicky. If he got the right defense, I promise you, he can prove self-defense on this case. If he got a bad spokesperson, they need to fire them. That's why I'm looking at whoever this Michael Howard is.
It's not. Listen. I know. Let me break something down to you. I know Mike Howard personally.
Is he good?
I've worked cases with him. He's a great attorney. I'm talking about that spokesperson he got. The other guy. I don't want to say his name because I don't want problems in Dallas. I don't deal with him.
Right.
But I'm telling you, it's the other person. That's the problem. Mike Howard knows what he's doing as an attorney. But when your client is not listening to you and you got a non-attorney going out and making moves without talking to the attorney, that's not the attorney's fault. We only control so much.
You know,
does P. Diddy even have a publicist that's out talking about his case to the media?
Nope, not that I know of.
So why? I'm trying to figure out why in a murder case do you need a publicist throwing events and throwing press conferences?
He threw the father of the dead child out of a press conference. If y'all think, I'm letting you know, we from Texas, right? What did I tell y'all about that? Let's have a real family. Let's have a conversation. What did I tell y'all about Texas, right? We had the highest number of people wrongfully convicted that were on death row in the state of Texas, and the county. This county sits next to the county that I'm in, and they're worse than we are when it comes to certain things, right? So my concern is, and I'm just being honest with you, the temperature here in Texas, when you got the wrong spokesperson out there doing the wrong thing for the client, it's not even the attorney's fault because he can only control so much. When you got a group of folks that's not listening to you as an attorney, and you out in that county, and the white kid gets stabbed, and you're black, and the white kid looks like he didn't have a weapon, I'm just saying, I'm not advocating for the kid. I'm just telling you, if it was my son, and I'm in Texas, I'm worried. I'm worried for Carmelo. I'm worried.
I would be worried too, Calvin, but I could tell you this too. I would be as worried as nothing. The reason why I wouldn't be worried, because when I date back to the beginning of this story, we asked what started this story. What started this story was the rain. And we all know that we ran up under tents. And my question is, when you've ever ran up under the tent, do you think any of them would have addressed you to get from up under that tent as an adult? So why did they do it to him as a kid? What made them want to come and communicate with them? If they had a problem with him up under the tent and he said, touch me. First he said no. Then he said, touch me. Right then and there, they're holding Carmelo Anthony accountable for that. But wait, why don't you hold the deceased, rest in peace, hold him accountable for why didn't he turn around and go tell him the door?
But I'm going to tell you what the problem is. I'm going to tell you what the problem is.
He was
if Carmelo would have two-pieced him in the face, if he'd have maybe even stabbed him in the leg or something like that, but a stab to the heart and the kid dies.
One stab.
There's going to be, listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. When in Texas, when you use self-defense, you're supposed to use the level of aggression that's used against you. And what's going to happen is the state is going to argue. When I assert self-defense, I have to prove that the amount of danger I was in led me to take an action that could cause serious bodily injury or death. But the burden shifts to me because I'm asserting self-defense. That's why I'm worried for Carmelo. I'm not disagreeing with you, sis.
No,
but that boy got a problem.
But if there were multiple opponents, it
was his brother.
If there were two opponents against one,
his brother,
you can like I'm a martial arts instructor. When you get into,
I'm gonna tell you the problem, y'all. I'm gonna tell you the problem. You know what the problem is with that one? And this is one of the problems that he's gonna suffer from.
We'll take our chance.
If that's my school, if I'm a witness, I'm not gonna say everybody in there was against him. I'm gonna say nobody else was bothering him. It was just him and Austin. And that's the problem he's gonna run into because you in their tent.
But wait,
that's
Calvin,
the hard problem. I'm being real with you. That's the hard problem he's gonna run into.
No, Calvin, but wait a minute. His mama been talking too much. His daddy been talking too much, and his brother's been talking too much. His brother has admitted. His brother said, Carmelo Anthony said, touch me. He said he wasn't moving, and then he said, touch me. The brother said, my brother put his hands on him. The mother also said in the beginning when it first happened, the mama said he's an arrogant young man. She said he don't back down. She said if he think he's right, he's gonna keep coming at you. He bullied them. They knew karate. They was in the woods shooting hogs and pigs. They already knew they just came from a boxing because they boxed too. And you play football and you run a track. You were not scared of him.
I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Can I just make one quick thing? So DJ, tonight at 10, if you guys want to move it to 9, we can, but let's get some video footage of this case too. Let's go over this case and
please.
All right.
Yeah, I'm trying to jump on now. You know, I'm a little bit because I got court tomorrow. I got to start getting back in my ground. I took off this week.
Uda on the go. Somebody wanted to come up. I'm not sure how to.
Calvin, you got to come back, Calvin.
I'm gonna try to, y'all.
I'll be your legal assistant.
I got to pay my
I'll be your legal assistant on this one.
But I'm being real with y'all. Listen, y'all. Listen. Y'all got to understand. I'm from here.
Me too.
I'm from here. I know how things are out here.
Right.
And I see how Bubba and Billy Ray are currently feeling at this point.
And guess what?
And I see how Bubba and them are feeling.
But Kevin,
and I'm concerned. And the jury pool out there is not going to be us. The jury pool out there is not going to be favorable to us.
Calvin,
so that's my concern.
We need to start putting our boots on the ground. I just feel like if you really believe in this case, I feel like we could fight this case. Think about this, Calvin. We're going back to Trayvon Martin. The exact identical thing happened. The only difference is the murderer got away with it. He got away with it. Whatever happens, this is not murder. You're going to give me something self-defense. You're going to charge him with a gun. I feel like if we really believe in it, if you believe in the case, I feel like we can put our boots on the ground and we can surround that area.
But this is the problem.
We can do it.
That's not going to stop anything. That's not going to stop anything.
The problem that's happening right now is this, y'all. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't agree with the spokesman that he has for his case. That spokesman is hurting him big time. And I could not represent him unless that spokesman was removed from the situation. There's no way that I would touch this case at all.
Can I talk?
And I have a question too.
Hold on. Hey guys, take me off. I have to step away for a minute. DJ, put somebody else in my place. Bring me back up later when you
Yeah, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta get on. I'm gonna try to come on later on tonight because we need to have a longer conversation about this one. I'm gonna try to get on for a little while tonight with y'all. But I'm being real with y'all. Like, we got a problem down here because this thing has not been handled properly.
Calvin, I would like to work with you on this, Calvin. And I'm not, you don't know how, listen, you don't know all my books. You don't know everything that when I tell you I got
Mama got the notes. Queen got the notes.
When I say they call me tedious, I'm very tedious.
Queen,
now.
let me break something down to you. Queen, and I'm gonna tell you with the issue that we got, and I'm being real with you. Y'all have to understand where I'm at. And y'all got to understand that I know the people that are involved.
That's
and what I'm going to tell you, he has the wrong spokesman for it. That person is not going to listen to us. He going to do whatever he want to do. Because of that, he's going to have a problem.
Guide me in it, Calvin.
Honey, it's just a website.
I wish I could guide you in it, Queen, but I'm going to be real with you. He has their ear.
Right.
That person is not going to listen to anybody else. And he is hurting that young man's case as far as I'm concerned. So I want with that person, I'm not touching it. I wouldn't dare touch it.
He has a website. I can help you get the website, Queen. You can reach out and good luck.
And listen,
that guy is very arrogant.
Tonight, but I'm gonna break it down to you. The person he has his spokesman is not gonna. He's gonna feel how he feels. He's gonna listen. And I'm not down in that person. He's gonna do what he want to do. But I could not work with them. I would never work with them. I can't. I won't because they won't listen to. They won't listen to my advice, and I'm telling you right now, that person is not going to listen to anybody. He's going to do what he's going to do, and that case is getting messed up because of that. That's just how I feel.
I have a question. Hold on, I have a question. Do you think that was a huge mistake for him not to allow the father? Because the father was really siding with the family at some point.
Let me break something down to y'all. Can I break something down to y'all?
Trying to work. Go ahead.
Can I say something to y'all?
Yeah.
I would have never had that press conference to begin with.
Never.
But listen to me. It all goes back to the spokesperson doing something that I wouldn't have done. And I'm going to tell y'all, Queen, as strongly as you feel that you can help this young man, is as strongly how that person going to feel about not letting you help him. So I'm letting you know that that's kind of where those folks are. And I feel bad because I think the young man is going to suffer because of it.
He is. That's why we can help him. Can we talk about this? Let's see.
We can talk about it, but as long as his spokesman does listen.
If I come in that area, Calvin, I feel like we can make a change over there. If I come in the area, I feel
let me break something down to you. As long as that spokesman is doing what he's doing, we're in trouble. We're just in trouble, Queen. I'm being real with you. Yeah. Believe me, I have belief. Listen, I believe I can do great things, many things, but when you got somebody that refuses to listen,
working against you,
exactly. It's not gonna work.
When we come in a boatload, though, that's what we always throw out the window.
You can boatload it all you want, but if you got somebody out front not listening, if you got the person who got the wheel to the boat, and we all on the boat, we all gonna sink.
Stop the boat.
Because he got the door locked. He got the damn thing on the damn steering wheel. He ain't listening. We telling him it's a hole. He like, nah, we can make it. Nah, we better hit shore over here. And you're like, nah, man, we got about 10 minutes. All the water's gonna be in there. Nah, man, we got 30 minutes. He got the door closed. He don't want to listen. Bingo. I'm being honest with y'all. I'm being honest. Look at me. Have y'all ever saw me look like this? You see my eyes? That's crazy eye, right? I got crazy eye right now. Back in the day when if I met a woman and she had crazy eye, I wouldn't talk to her. Right now, I'm that woman with crazy eye.
Yep, psychosis eye.
Right, exactly. I'm being real with you. No. But listen, y'all, we had a great time today. I'm gonna try to get back with y'all tonight. Let me get myself going because I can meet some other obligations and try to be able to get on later on tonight. But listen, I enjoyed this, y'all. And the other thing is, the brother, if you're still listening, if I got into an argument with you, hey, I'm gonna tell you this. Peace, my brother. I'm past all of being into an argument with anybody. I'm a king. You are a king. You're my brother, whether you think you are or not. I'm only responsible for how I treat you. I'm not responsible for how you're going to treat me. My brother, with the one we got into an argument with, I only wish you the best. I wish you success in your life, sir. Me being real, us being honest. That's who I am.
Yeah, I think it was Sean G. It wasn't
Yes, Sean G. Just hey, man, I wish you the best, Sean. I'll have no problem with you. My deal is in life. I'm at a point. I'm 53. I just turned 53 last Saturday. I'm enjoying this life. I do this for a living. I wish the best for you in your life and whatever you choose to do with it. That's just who I am. I don't have to win an argument.
He came up for a moment, Calvin.
Exactly. And I know that.
But you're nothing but respectful. You're a
Exactly.
respectful guy, and you're a defense attorney. And he was up there acting like he's on Diddy's side, or Diddy gonna be free. So what would his argument be with you when you're a defense attorney?
And
that's the whole thing.
He wasn't even on the jury. He was sitting in the bench watching like
he's questioning his status as a lawyer. You're a lawyer. You're more of a professional than us. That's why you're here. Hopefully, you could break down some little things to us so we could get us all savvy on the law.
Right.
We're not going to try to bad mind you and strong up on you.
Yeah, man. And but you know what?
You, brother.
And you know what? I appreciate y'all doing that, man, because you know I was kind of losing I was losing contact with the world for a minute because
I was right here to back you up. I said, no, let me keep talking.
I'm like that because y'all can tell, like, hey, I ain't,
I was about to blast him too.
Yeah, crazy eye. You're getting the crazy eye, Calvin. The crazy eye.
I'm not silver spoon.
But you contain yourself.
I'm not green, I'm brown.
But you contain yourself. That speaks volumes for how you carry yourself because you contained yourself. So that speaks volumes. Yeah. And it's not about those things. Because if you really want to have a conversation, y'all could have spoke. You could have did a back and forth. Y'all could have spoke. And then he abruptly just left. So obviously you just came for a moment. You're not really coming for a conversation. And that's not what we want to show the younger people as well. We want to show them that we can communicate. We can have a difference of opinions, still do it conductive, conducive. Everything will be cool and smooth. We don't have to fight about our opinions. Like even on my channel, some people say Diddy guilty, Diddy free, whatever you feel. Everybody's going to feel what they want to feel. And we ain't got to be strong on each other about that.
And you know what you just said, man. Listen, let me tell you where, and me keeping 100, I tell people, you know, I had to understand certain things about myself. In the past, I like to get back at people. I've been going to therapy. They've been helping me out with that. Therapy. So no, listen.
Everybody should get it.
They've been helping me out with that.
Therapy is good
because it makes me a better person. And I'm trying to be a better person, and that's what we should want to be. If you realize you got certain issues, which I do, I want to make sure that I get those issues addressed. That's what grown men do.
That's right.
I'm a grown man, so I know I got the issue, so I had it addressed. Listen, back in the day, I like to get back at people, but I'm not like that no more.
It doesn't matter as long as you stand in your truth.
He fell out. I think it's
it doesn't matter. And some people do stuff like that. They come on just to sabotage a good point.
Ma, let me tell you something. You know, black folk who are trying to do something better in their lives, you get so much heat from your own people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a father's rights advocate. I've helped many. I've won 13 legal actions going back and forth since 2017. And while I'm not an attorney, I know how to give legal advice. I know how to search up information. Yes. You know what I'm saying? I have a plethora of own personal knowledge. I have my own little organization, a fraternity of fathers legal rights, where, you know, it doesn't even matter what race somebody is. If people are fighting for their kids, they're fighting for their kids or whatever, I'm there. And I don't, you know, I'm not charging nothing because I'm not an attorney. But at the end of the day, I still give freely. And if people hit me up personally, I go and do my research about their state and about their laws and about this, that, and the other. I give them the precedent. I give them, you know what I'm saying, statutory, you know what I'm saying, information. You know what I'm saying? And then brothers will turn around and be like, "Oh, you ain't nobody, bro. You still paying child support. My baby mama owe me." Listen, and I ain't fighting that fight.
Hey, let me say something real quick. I want to also make a statement that I get it that people have been in the courtroom and stuff like that. Well, I've been there and I'm watching. Okay, well, Mel's been there too, but you don't see Mel arguing with a Calvin because he's been there.
He wasn't even there every day. I was there every day. He left, came back when Cassie came. So stop. I was there every day. So that's a fable that he said right there. Because I was there every day from jury selection. He came the first day. He left. He wasn't there. Then he came back another day. Cool. So it's not about who was there every day. We here. He's a lawyer. He understands the case. He see it in front of his face. He's been studying law for how long? It's not. If we could do it right now, what's the difference? Why can't he see it and look at something? We all have an opinion.
And if he's used to dealing with a judge that and how they do their schedules of the whatever schedule of the blah blah blah.
I've been a legal assistant. Yeah, I've been a legal assistant.
He knows exactly how this works because he's been in the courtroom and how those numbers add up and how they how judges normally do the stuff.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna had to go if you was a lawyer or not. You could have been studying it, didn't even make it to the whole thing. I'm gonna listen to you because you know something that you know.
Right. But y'all know what I'm gonna tell y'all.
Because they ain't make it. No, you know what you know.
You know what I'm gonna tell y'all, but what happens, and I'll say this, and there's nothing against Sean G. Man, once you go do some time, and let's say you get into the system and you don't have an attorney who has your best interest at
right, you're gonna be distrustful.
You're gonna be distrustful, and if your first interest into the system, you didn't end up with somebody you trusted, then it could really affect you. And I think it probably affected Sean G.
Yeah,
he might not have felt like whatever he went through that they probably treated him fairly. And what happens is,
that's not even that, man, because he was there for some other stuff. I got friends of people that's there for real type stuff. He was there for some little evasion business, whatever had happened. I get it, but we're not gonna do that. Stop.
Yeah, we're not.
It's about respecting each other.
Yeah, right.
That's the first thing we're pushing forward. We're raising young Black men as well as fathers.
Yes, sir.
What are we pushing out here? This is what is first thing first.
Legal literacy. Legal literacy.
And this is how people like y'all on the panel is how we're going to get the legal literacy by learning a little 1-2 thing with people like y'all on the panel is what I'm saying.
My audience is 79% male. So that's why I was always feeling like it's important to have a role model like Mel, a role model like Calvin. Now all of you guys are here because I think that not enough energy and time is being given to the male audience and what they are suffering and what they're going through, legal issues, things like that. So this panel that I'm doing is really in support of the male audience and also, of course, the female, but mainly the men knowing how to help themselves in legal situations, seeing how they can get out, understanding the law so that they don't get caught up. We've done how many shows together, Calvin? Going over. Please go back and watch those shows. We talk about when you get pulled over, what to do, what not to do, how to conduct yourself in a traffic stop. So this is not the first time that just with Diddy is that Calvin and I have really brought information to this audience to try to help them to make sure that they stay above the law.
Yeah. And you know what I'll tell y'all at the end of the day, and this is what I try to tell people. I go off people's energy. And when somebody say they're not my brother, and this is my first time talking to them, I'm always aware that I got to be careful with folks because we're at different places in our lives right now. And when I say we're at different places with our lives, especially as Black men, we don't deal with each other enough to where we can disagree and can still continue to have relationships. And we got to stop doing that to each other.
Right. We go Klingon. We go all the way Klingon.
Yeah. Man, we go all, and I had to realize that I used to do that. I have a disagreement with somebody, man. I would go all the way to the hilt on them, and I'll say, Calvin, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You got to be smart enough to maintain that relationship because we may be able to help each other later. We may be able to come on one accord later. And so I'm in a place in my life where I don't know how much time I got left here. One of my lawyer friends at the courthouse, she had cancer. She just passed away yesterday. And one of my law school friends, her husband got killed at a shooting at the mall by his ex-wife last week. And so life is short. So, man, I'm not going to spend my time arguing with people or making new enemies. I'm at a point where I want to see our brothers and sisters come together, try to learn from each other and support each other. Listen, y'all, I got to walk out of here, but I can stay on the stream, but y'all going to see me walking. And I don't know how.
Hey, listen, we got another show that coming on later on tonight. We're going to give everybody a break to get some water. Listen, the free Diddy t-shirts, are they still going to put those out? Or those Diddy, that whole situation with the Diddy t-shirts? Mel, are you aware of that?
Charlucci got the shirts actually, so he had them going on for free. We gave out some the other day, but he's gonna have them, I think, on his website. I think you go to his Instagram, which is Lucci Brand NYC. I think they call .com as well. Lucci brand, NYC, LUCCI.
Could you put it in the chat, and we could at least support that's his best friend, correct?
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and show some support on it.
So guys, are we gonna go at 9 or 10 o'clock tonight?
Probably 9, because I know that Calvin gotta go to work the next.
All right.
Yeah, let's do 10
Calvin.
o'clock because I need a little bit of break. And so I got
10?
to run
Okay.
some things. Yeah. And be 9 o'clock y'all time, I guess.
It'd be 10 our time, 9 your time.
No, we're an hour ahead, right? So it would be 10 our time and 9 your time.
Okay.
Yeah.
10 our time.
Because it was 3. It's 3 here, and you guys are starting at 2, so you're an hour behind me. So yeah, we got to factor that in. So
Yeah, so
really,
9, 10.
yeah. So how about, yeah, that would put us at 11. That would be way too late. So I guess we do 10 Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
That's, yeah. I think
He's in the elevator right now, but I'll let him know.
If you could text him that, let him know.
Okay. Man,
All
thank
right.
you guys. This has been a really great show. I appreciate it. Oh, you know what? Someone did give a super chat earlier in the thing. I didn't get to celebrate him. So before we go, we're going to celebrate the super chat that was given by from the podcast with Soul. I want to thank everybody for
That's Sean G, just so you know.
Oh, okay. Oh, that he was raising hell in the chat room. Jesus.
It's all right. He's passionate. He's a solid brother. He's just passionate. It's all right.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I thought something was wrong with it. I want to know, Zion. Can I have your information? Zion.
Yes.
Okay. Can I have your information?
Yeah. Fraternity of Fathers Legal Rights.
Put it in the
back chat.
You guys just go in the back chat, and then after the show ends, if you guys want to exchange information with each other, you could just stay and communicate and talk. But I want to celebrate Sean G, even though he was argumentative, whatever. So, but we're gonna give.
I am blessed to make money, making money, making money, making money, making money, manifest, making money, making money, making money, making money. I ain't stressed, making money, making money, making money, making money. Gratitude is my attitude. I'm making money moves. Jewelry in the safe, piggy bank on full. And I'm living life abundant. I'm making money fast. I'm a money making magnet, making cold hard cash. I'm making money. Oh, I am blessed.
All right, we always give a shout out to our super chat with our money making song. That's a mantra, and I've heard that people have listened to that and got some money. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to save it and listen to it over and over, there you go.
Yeah, it was a long one too.
Huh?
I said, yeah, it was a long one. I said, ooh, that puts you in the days for that money.
Yeah, make you want to make some money. You know what I'm saying? But thank you guys, everybody. I appreciate it. This has been a great show. Is there any last words anybody wants to say before we roll out?
Salute to everybody. Peace and blessings to all of y'all. Always a great conversation. Salute to all of y'all. I'll be back. Salute to the chat. Uda. On go.
All right, guys. Eastern Standard Time tonight at 9 o'clock. We're going to go through Carmelo Anthony and the Floods. DJ Genesis, could you please link up with me after this? We'll go through some video footage. I'll try to find what I can. YouTube, perhaps. All right.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
All right. It's going to be a great production. We're working on better quality shows. So tune back in at 9 o'clock Eastern. Well, wait a minute. That's going to put yours at 10 o'clock. I'm sorry, guys. 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Texas. Yep. Okay. Cool.
All right. Please.
All right. So 10 p.m. Thanks.
Welcome me back.